Hey guys, it is I, Kuroninja, and a lot of information about Gozyuger has been revealed. So now, after a long period of temperance, it's finally time for me to give my thoughts on Gozyuger. I have a lot to say about my first impressions for this series. There's a lot of stuff I like and some stuff I don't like, but first let's talk about the Rangers themselves. Gozu Wolf is the Red Ranger of the team. He's described as unsociable and has an edgier look than the previous Red Rangers we got. In other words, he's a lone wolf. This would make him intriguing if it weren't for the fact that he's the Red Ranger. Even worse, it's confirmed he's got a signature shout. If you don't know what I mean, I noticed that most recent Red Rangers have something they say while looking up at the sky to show their energy. The only time this wasn't a problem was Kirame Red's Hirame King catchphrase, and Don Momotaro's laugh because it felt natural for both of them. What Gozu Wolf does is howl, and as you know, there are no good Red Rangers in Super Sentai. Gozu Leon, on the other hand, is the most likely contender to be my favorite Gozyuger. I didn't really think of him that much until the cast reveal, and I think his background as a former idol and his civilian costume make him stand out. Interestingly, he's a former idol who got kicked out of his agency. I have a feeling he's gonna be a breakout star in his series, just like Tonbo Oger, another one of my favorite Blue Rangers. Gozu Tyano is a scholar who's devoted to Tega Sword, which is the name of the Gozyuger's transformation device. He also ran away from home because of that. I predict that Gozu Tyano will be different from most Yellow Rangers. I don't think he's gonna be a full powerhouse like many previous Yellow Sentai Rangers. Gozu Eagle is a student who's serious, but he wants to become more relaxed and party more. It's been 4 years since we got a Sentai team with a Green Ranger, and he could have been my favorite Gozyuger, but Kuroninja has already given him an invitation to join Emerald Club, a spot he was originally planning to give to Ginga Green. Who knows if he will join Emerald Club. Lastly, we've got Gozu Unicorn. I made a bold prediction before the cast reveal that she would be portrayed by Moeka Ukawa, but for the second year in a row, my prediction did not come true. She's still an intriguing character, described as a high-class detective, and I know for a fact that a lot of you are excited about this character, and so am I. Okay, so from what I understand from the plot, the collectible artifacts this season are the Sentai rings. There's this competition to collect all the rings and become number 1. The Gozyugers might be a team, but I think they're also competing with each other for the rings. But they're also going to be competing against the villains known as the Braidan. Braidan is a very interesting group of villains with an aesthetic I haven't thought of before. Their leader seems to be the pair of Mr. Shining Knife and Mrs. Sweet Cake, a couple who are so in love that they fuse together. The other villains are more human, and they include Fire Candle, the Special Attack Force leader, Bouquet, who's portrayed by Marupi, and Kuan, who looks out of place with the rest of these villains, but he seems to be Gozu Wolf's rival. This season's villains seem to have some kind of wedding theme, and from the trailer, it looks like their base is some kind of wedding chapel. At first I thought that a wedding-themed villain was a weird choice, and I couldn't think of how it fit in with the story, but then it hit me. The artifacts are rings. People wear rings when they get married. It all made sense in the end. Now, I do think that Gozyuger will be a good season, but one thing I don't like about it is the fact that while it celebrates the 50th anniversary, there's a lot more focus on the Red Rangers per the previous Sentai. As I have said many times before, there are no good Red Rangers in Super Sentai, and I don't like how the Red Rangers tend to hoard the spotlight in their seasons. Now they're stealing the spotlight again. There's still a silver lining though. Zenkaiger is the only Sentai that isn't represented by its Red Ranger. That means we won't have to see Juran, one of the worst Red Rangers in Super Sentai. There's still one thing I'm worried about in Gozyuger. There were a lot of Red Rangers in that press conference, and Gozyuger's also a celebration of Super Sentai's 50th anniversary. You might already know that the worst Sentai Ranger ever is a Red Ranger who appears in anniversary seasons. I doubt he will show up though. In fact, I am so confident he will never show up that I will watch an anime and review it if he does show up in the show in some way. And as some of you know, I don't like anime. Anyway, that is all for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, I have nothing to do with Shiro Ninja.